We say we live in a capitalistic society. What does that mean?
Capitalism? Well, why should there be any question about it?
We have an economy that just doesn't care about people because it cares about where profit can be made. And people are just tools, are just means to that. And the Labour Party, just like many social democratic parties across Europe, have gone along with that agenda. They've tried to make it a little bit better, but they've not fundamentally changed anything.
I make a living. I should worry.
It's an offshoot of our capitalistic society. Put everyone against each other because we're too busy thinking the next guy's going to get it and I won't.
We're free to try to make a profit, to just get by, or to fail. Some of us do fail every day, but enough of us succeeds every generation. We double our production of goods and services.
Well, what do you think?
I've campaigned for 20 years, 25 years now. For a lot of that time, nobody in formal politics was listening to us very much. There was a consensus in politics around a certain type of economic model, but even then we made changes on the ground. The anti-globalization movement that I was involved in massively changed international politics. The rulers of the world in the G8 and the World Trade Organization, the International Monetary Fund, institutions no one really knew much about at that time, within a few years got to the stage where they couldn't meet in a city because they would be besieged by protesters. And that started to change things.
In a free economy, we are all each other's customers.
They've started to do it in Germany. They've had referendums, they've taken back control of local energy suppliers and they're running it democratically so that it can both be more renewable and more fair, so poorer people don't have to choose between eating and heating. The fact of the matter is, if you don't try anything, you can absolutely guarantee it's not going to work. Nothing's going to work and nothing's going to change. You have to try. Sometimes amazing things happen and you never expected them to happen.
Discuss the red menace with your neighbors, your friends, your business associates, your fellow students.
What I see more than anything in this country at the moment is a generational divide. And young people, I think, are angry, are confused and perplexed. And we need to ensure that those people understand that change is possible and how people, especially young people in the past, have changed things.
Capitalism is a way of organizing the production of goods. It's different from slavery because it doesn't have a master and a slave. It's different from feudalism because it doesn't have a lord and a serf. But it's like them because it's divided society into two. One, as a minority, has all the power. We call them nowadays employers. And the other ones don't, and we call them employees.
Look what the 60s created. That's the last moment of huge hope in our society for social change. And it changed everything. It changed attitudes towards women, towards gay people, towards people of color, and all the rest of it.
Be alert to spot anyone promoting the communist line. The communists incited student riots. Communist agents make more progress where they can first make trouble.
One of the most dangerous things about the current situation is the idea that there's nothing anybody can learn from what's gone before. If you actually know you're standing on the shoulders of giants, if you actually know what people did in far more difficult circumstances than we're living in now, how much they changed, that's inspiring.
Socialism has spread the shadow of human regimentation over most of the nations of the earth. And the shadow is encroaching upon our own liberty.
But whenever I talk to young people, then I feel immensely hopeful and optimistic. And the best and biggest and most important changes that have happened in our society, the way that ordinary people got votes and women got votes and so on, the way we abolished slavery was by that massive movement of people outside of Parliament. There's a brilliant quote from President Roosevelt, and he said, "I know what you want me to do, I want to do it too, but you're going to have to make me do it." Great understanding of power and where power really lies, and that Parliament on its own doesn't create change. Ordinary people create change.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
For all of our disappointments about the Blair government, the amount that they pandered to neoliberalism, that actually there was an enormous, huge shift in attitudes under that government. And I wonder if at least for young people, that seems somewhat irreversible, that those are gains that need to be banked, and they're going to have to learn how to defend some of those gains, as well as moving forward and creating something different. Look at the Occupy movement a few years ago. I mean, many people say, well, what did it really achieve? But actually, in many ways, it changed the narrative. It meant that inequality became absolutely central to the conversation in our society. And from there, all sorts of other changes possible. So we need to begin changing the narrative. We need to begin opening people's eyes and making them realize it doesn't have to be this way. There is a better way to live.